Hello everyone and welcome to today's live stream where I'm doing a little experiment right here. I made this little project yesterday or the day before, I forget which, and I want to try modifying it a bit because right now it's cool, but I want to try a variant. So, long story short with this project, I made it so that I made a little system where I basically have a ton of squares showing where the muscles of a character are. They're just kind of quads that are set up in a nice space so that their UVs, as we can see here, are all squared off. So I could put whatever pattern I want in the middle as long as it's square and it works well. And I also made it so that, according to those squares, we'll be able to make muscle fiber lines, which is very, very cool, very, very nice. I've sped this up. I've turned down the amount of muscle fibers just to speed everything up. Audio and all that's good, good. And it works quite well. I'm quite happy with how this part turned out. But I want to try doing more, because right now, it looks like it's growing, which is cool. I've always wondered, like, oh, how do you make nanotech look cool and stuff like that? And the answer is, well, you make it organic, make it something that actually grows and looks cool. So this, I guess, is more like, what would this be? Not quite roots, because roots would branch, of course. Maybe more like a mold, like the slime molds, maybe? Or maybe just like little grass growing or something like that, which is cool. So now what I want to try is making this print. Where instead of this just growing simultaneously, which I think will probably look better, I want to try a variant where there's a robotic arm that moves and kind of prints each muscle layer, which should work if I am correct. Because of course I've been making this project, I was thinking of both the Westworld intro and Marathon, of course, both very faint memories of both because I have not watched the series or played the game. Or did I play the game? I forget. I don't know. But operating just on the sense of, oh, what if creating a robot or a synthetic figure was more organic rather than just hard motors and joints and stuff like that? What if it was more organic? Eventually, if this works, I might try having a skeleton and then putting the fibers in between, but I like this very procedural setup because if I go into the UV editor and take a look at this, oh wait, let me go and enable all this, of course, that. I could just go and rotate all this and switch it all up because it's dependent on the UV maps. So when the strands go one way or the other way, it just works, in the famous words of Todd Howard. But yeah, I want to see if I can make it so that I have a little robotic arm go and do that. Yeah. Alright, so how would I go about actually making the robotic arm? Because as this starts out, all these splines are in UV space. So they're just in the 0 to 1 UV... Oh, the camera. The way I set the camera up, I need to clean this file up quite a bit. So the camera's a little bit tilted because I set it so that the character's laying down instead of standing up, but that's... yeah. Yes. Okay, so my plan is I just have a point moving from left to right, but what layer it's actually going to changes. Because here we have the actual body and then we're just sampling the UV space per tile. I should go and explain a lot of this because a lot of this does need explaining. Yeah, I really should have cleaned this up before showing it off. But, you know, we do everything on the fly here. That's why these are live streams, not edited videos. So, to start out, let's disable everything except the end. So here we have the body. The body is just something like this. Ignore the parts right here. That's just old cutting segments before the mirror. So actually, we could apply the mirror for this one. So we have this body that's just like this. Retopology. It's a lot like retopology. Is that a gap? Oh, crap. I forgot about that. Anyway, let's ignore that. We have this, and then we use geometry nodes to basically take the UV map islands and normalize them. That's what this part does. Fairly simple. We also get the... Oh, I should probably store... No, we can just get that later. And then with that, we subdivide. The normalization happens before, but it doesn't necessarily need to. And then the fibers get put there, and then an optional subdivision afterwards, which we don't actually need, so I can delete that too. So yeah, we basically normalize the UV maps, which are all squared off, and then we put it to the 0 to 1 range, subdivide, and then we go and put our muscle fibers everywhere. Which, oh, this little part right here is just to add in a bit more padding after the subdivision to make it just look a bit more anatomical, I guess you could say. Oh, and another gap. Ooh, I guess I forgot to actually fix all this. So I'm just gonna go here, take this, select all these, 0, then make sure these are all leveled. Lots of stuff going on. So here we have that. And I do like the look here, where it's this kind of wireframe-ish thing. I think it's a little dark in the other parts. But just because, since these are all squared off UV maps, I could put whatever design I want on here. And this very nice hexagon. I could have made it look more 3D, but it was like, this almost like printed fabric look is much more what I prefer. I don't know why it's so dark in this part. Maybe just the material is. The actual material here, it's not the most complex thing on the planet, ignore that part. But here we can see we have our squared off UV maps normalized. We do this to get the gradients from the edges instead of having an attribute, so that this is a lot more modular, I guess you could say. Hexagons, we just map range both of these patterns, minimum them, and then also just noise to make it look a bit more fancy. So we get that pattern, we go and put it through some stuff, and then we get this at the end. The IOR I turned down a bit. Well, oh, that's fine. Let's go and move this up so we have this, so the kind of synthetic body form is fine. Should also mention that, yeah, no, it doesn't have a front yet. I should probably implement that, but just, I did this in an afternoon, so I did not implement everything. I could put whatever pattern I want on here, and it could do a look good. Like that. That also looks good. A more macro kind of look. Just a bit. Then I could do this to make it look much more like a cloth fabric. Also looks good. The way I set this up, I am happy with how this worked out. We got that. Looks even more organic. But yeah, I am quite happy with this synthetic shell. So, back to the geometry nodes portion. Again, we have the splines doing all that, and then we have that, which actually, yeah, I should have put that on the bottom instead of on top. So that's all good. Okay. Will you go in depth of this effect? Yes, that's what I plan on doing, because there is a lot. So, with that set up, we now go into the actual spline generation. So here, I just have a spline. Let me go and fix the camera, because camera's all tilted. We go and duplicate it so that we get an array of splines, and then I duplicate it again for each UV island, which we go and get from here. We split the edges to get each kind of mesh island or UV tile island, if that makes sense. Though then again, I could have just... Oh, dang it. I could have done the pseudo-UDIM approach, where I just put the UVs offset on different tiles instead of needing to split it. That would have been smart. Anyway, that would have been really smart. No more splitting edges. I would just have to offset each tile by that, and then I would just tell which tile it's in, like a UDIM. That would have been smarter. Well, we're already here. And then after that, we take the island index and then the island ID that we store over here to guide the sampling. So each part will sample a different part. Yeah. And then I could also do something else, which, oh yeah, that could work very well. All right, so we got all that. So when we sample the position in the normal and do all that, we duplicate the layers a little bit to get a bit more detail and elevation. I could go and turn this up more and more and more to get more muscle fiber layers, but we don't need that. We set the curve tilt, we do the progression, and then I have this roll curve setup, which is very, very old, as we can see from this old color mix, which should be a float mix. Actually, I'm going to do that right. Wait, it's a multiply. Oh, that's quirky. Well, that's an old remnant of when this was made, probably in like 3.5 or something like that. I could probably update it to make it a lot better. But it's okay. It's okay. I should probably update this, but not today. So that rolls the curves. We set the curve radius, then we go and curve to mesh UV. Again, this is my setup for, it's like the versioning on that. Ignore that part. But this is what I use for doing UV map stuff on curves, because we do not have that by default, which is unfortunate. But, oh, that is in my everyday node group setup thing that I have up on Gumroad, which is free if you want to go and grab it. I should probably add in the roll curve setup into there, but I would have to update that before I would send it out into the world. But yeah, that is the general setup for this. So now it's just a matter of making a point move from left to right, and then also synchronize that with making the splines move, which I think could work well. But I want to simplify this. So here I'm going to completely eliminate the duplicate elements at the end here. Eliminate all of that. We do not need the normal offset currently, but we will need it in the future. We don't need to worry about that. We don't need to worry about you or you. A grand simplification right there. So we only need to set the amount of curves with this. So we just have a nice array, not having to worry about anything else. That works out well. We probably won't need to roll the curves because of the future things we'll be doing with this, but we'll just keep it for now. We'll go and eliminate you, eliminate all of that. Okay. Now what we need to do is make a point move from left to right in UV space, but also make it so that it can switch between which UV space it's sampling. So that it could go like left and right, interpolate to the next tile, left to right, interpolate to the next tile, left to right. So to do that, let's go and get a point, because we just need a singular point. And then I'll have a robotic arm with IK and everything and just sample the attributes on that point. And that should work out well. Okay, so we got that part, we got all that separation. That should work just fine. We have the island ID, but we'll need 2 island IDs because we need to separate 2 tiles at a time for accurate interpolation. I know this is a lot to go over, but it'll be fine. So combine, no. We just need to store a named attribute, which this will be a 4x4 matrix because we need a position and a rotation. We don't really need a scale, but I'm not going to worry about that. Transform. So we just need that. So here, setup for this will not be pretty because we need to actually interpolate between the 2 parts, which annoys me greatly. Let's not worry about the interpolation at the moment. So here, what we need to do is just use a combine, transform, and then this will be an axes to rotation. We want the Z to be the normal, which is gotten through there, so that's fine. And the secondary axis will just be forward. That's all fine. So we got that, and then sample position. We set the position using this, so we need to have this in UV space. And we just need to make this loop over time using the scene time node. So we're going to do this, make this a fraction so that it goes through, combine X, Y, Z, we'll do that and that. But we also need a floor to set the island ID. So I'll make this an integer, we'll just do that and that. So this, we're going to turn this and floor it, so it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, the fraction is the gradient between each of those, so we do that, and that should work. Set this to be 0.5, and then why? No, this should be the other way. 0.5. I'm visualizing all this in my head. Sorry if it's too much to follow along with, but my brain's in the mode today, so I can visualize everything that's happening before I actually do it. So that should be everything that's needed. I just need to join this at the end for the first initial test. So for this, to make this work, we can see that is occurring, and it is doing that. That is good. But it's not actually sampling the position that I want. So why is that not occurring? Oh, right. Because of the transform is not being applied to the point. So if I were to set position and then use the transform, separate transform, then do that, yeah, that would, this is just for debugging. This isn't actually accounted for in any other sense. We have that and that. So here, we have this going along and we can, wait, why the bleep are there? Oh no, there are 2 points because there are 2 objects, correct. So now we have the point moving along in space, just sampling all of that, and it is working as intended. There's no interpolation between one segment and another. So now let's go and get an empty, and let's go and use the geometry attribute constraint, which I made the icon for that. Well, I made a lot of the constraint with help from the devs because I didn't know too much of what I was doing back then. This needs to be domain. Oh, maybe I should make that an instance so that I can just sample that easily. Yeah, because points can refer to other things. I'm so happy this thing actually made it into Blender. So yeah, I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to make it so that this is an instance instead of a point so that we can just switch the instance domain and then do that. It'll just be 1 point on an instance, and yeah, that'll actually solve quite a bit. So, instance transform, no, set instant. You know what? We're just going to switch this to be the instance domain. This will also be on the instance domain, and then this will, well, that's already on the instance domain. So we just needed to switch this to be an instance. This is just for ease of use down the line. So we have that, that, and that. That's fine. So now we should have an instance running back and forth. We should see this moving around. And it should have the actual... Why is it lagging now? That concerns me. It only takes a millisecond, which is a bit much for just 1 point. It's fine, it's fine. Empty, we're going to do instance transform, and this is going to be a 4x4 matrix. This will be on the instance domain. There's only one instance, so now we can see right here that that point is moving along and doing all of that. So that's good. That's good. That has pretty much everything we need. We have the point in space, and that is working. Beautiful. So now, what do we do next? Well, here we will switch this to be arrows and set this to be 0.1 so that we can actually see everything that's going on there. Yep, now we have that point. So now we can make a little IK armature for our robotic arm. This will be extremely simple because I do not have the time to do everything else. Yeah, I'm so happy with how this turned out. Like, look at that. It feels, even though this is the toned down version for the stream, I don't know, it just feels real in a sense. I don't know, like I can envision, maybe I've just watched too many videos of like slime molds growing and stuff like that. Just like plants growing time lapses, but it feels kind of similar to that. Let's set this to be 2. Let's get that. Let's go and move it up. Do that. Yeah, let's add in a lot of IK points to there. That'll be better. And then we'll have a bone. Oh, maybe I should just have the bone be the constraint instead of the empty. We'll have both. We'll have both. Maybe that's a bad idea. I don't know. We'll have our IK part here, and then we will go to the bone relations, turn that off. So this will just be IK, and then we're also going to have an IK pole. IK pole. Let's not use. No, let's use caps. Capitalizations are weird. So we have that and that and that. We're going to go into pose mode to set up the constraints here. So this will do inverse kinematics. We'll do that there, that there. I'm so glad they added in the eyedropper for the bones. So we have that, that, and... Wait, why... Is that making it freak out? Odd? Hello? Oh, because of the... No, that doesn't... Please tell me IKs are not broken in this version. Am I tripping? 1 second, everyone. I'm going to go and test if this actually works in 5.1. Let's see, does this actually work? Nope, same problem in 5.1. Okay, so it's a problem with me, not it. Let's go 1 second. I just need to check something. There we go. Okay. So why is the IK pole not doing that? Am I just forgetting something fundamental? It's been a while since I've actually needed to... Yes, that's why I forgot. It needs just a little tiny rotation for that to work. Understood. Quirky, but understood. We'll just have that for the bottom, that part right there, and then that. We will need to make this bigger so that can actually go and point towards what we want. So how do we make this rotation work? That is the question at hand. Do we just go and parent this bone to there and then align the end rotation to there? Would that work? Or we just instead inverse kinematics, delete that bone, inverse kinematics to there. By the No, bad idea. All right, so here we're going to parent this bone to our empty child of right to there. Clear inverse. And then we go and be honest, I'm forgetting how the inverse of all this works. But this should move along with it. Yep, there we go. Okay, so that's all we need. We just have our target there. And then, yeah, that can still happen, which I'm not not a big fan of. But it should be fine. Yeah, so that part just needs to align there perfectly. So yeah, with this, we just go there, scaled up by 2. 2 is not enough. 3. Wait, did it not, scale? What the... active element. 2. Actually, okay, no, we're gonna scale this one by 0.5, and then we're just gonna have this part scaled up by, like, 3. There we go. So as long as... It looks very, very odd. But it is doing part of what I wanted. Okay, that's... Okay. It's decent. So we have everything we need for the new setup. So now we just need to make this actually print. So we don't need any of this besides maybe the progression. So I'm going to eliminate this. And also I need to make sure that... Yeah, okay, this is V2, so V1 is not being modified. That is good. So with that, and that, set the curve radius, that's fine. That should be more in this section because that's more of the visuals. Yeah, we have that, and that. So the progression, we will need to go and store curve tilt. We don't need to worry about U anymore, so we can eliminate all of that. So set position. Progression, we will need to go and use the parameter. This needs to be on the point domain now. We don't need to worry about U, we just need to worry about U. And then this needs to be per tile as well. So that is another thing that we need to consider. So we need to add or subtract, I forget which one, the island ID, plug that into there. So now with that, we just need to mix between the current position and then the printer position. So that and that, so funnily enough, I dislike how this is working at the moment. It's so messy. I need to reorganize this. Maybe I should move this outside the node group or split it into several node groups. Because we will need to interpolate between the different islands, which will be a whole nother kerfuffle, which I'm not looking forward to. Sample index. Let's go and do this. We will go and get the 4x4 matrix, which is on the instance domain, similar to the constraint. The constraint was made to be similar to the sample index node. We just need to separate transform and plug that into there, and then have our progression into there, and that should work as intended. Alright, 24 minutes, which is, albeit good timing for what I had in mind. Put that there, and there, and all that. That inverse again, I think? Oh yeah, maybe I should do that. Let's see. Oh, Maestro, your demos always feel like I brought a bicycle to an F1 race. That's probably very funny if I actually was a part of the F1 fandom. And actually, from what I hear, it seems to be a fun fandom. Let's see, we need a factor, and then we need to subtract or add to that, but I don't really know which one to do. And this, no, we need this to, yeah, no, we don't need this either. We need to just sync this up in terms of the time. So how does this function? We just need to basically, yeah, the timing needs to be in sync between the two. Or maybe I can make this so that, oh yeah, no, if these tiles were offset, it would make things work even better. If I treated these like UDIMs, it would simplify a few things. So we do that, and then that goes into the progression. So I think we need to subtract. We can see, okay, we can see it's almost functioning. Almost. Maybe I should just remove the bottom half of this so that we can focus on the top half. Yeah, let's go and do it. So here, I'm just going to go and select all these guys right here and separate it by selection. So here, yeah. We can see that it looks like the island index is like one ahead or one behind. It's not quite right. So how do we make this work? Do we take the time and then... Actually, wait, no. Let's just worry about the time and then the island index. So maybe that's showing what is incorrect. Perfection. Yeah, what is out of sync? What is out of sync? Okay, I think I found which part. Okay, so that was off by 1. Classic issue when it comes to all this. I need more space here. Let's see. We have that, add one, that. And then why does that go all the way down to there? It should not. Yeah, why does it? Wait, huh? Oh. Yep. Then, merge by distance. There we go. I forgot to oh, that is, this project is working. It's actually going well. Despite the little hiccups. So there we go. So we got all that printing, but now we just need to add in this guy right here to make it function completely as intended. Or maybe instead we do that last. Just so that we can more easily, quote-unquote, debug it. I've always wanted to make this kind of effect. I actually met the guy who worked on the Westworld intro in New York. Great honor. It was a great honor to meet that guy. Does this need to be inverted? Okay, wait, no, something... Yeah, that's a problem. That should not be occurring. Is this also an off by 1 error? No, maybe. Okay. Okay, there we go. It's still very wrong, but I don't know how yet. Because it should be progressing very linearly. Should be progressing extremely linearly. And the reason I'm sampling this point rather than in the UV space point is so that I can move the extrusion head anywhere I want, and then that'll work. So if I wanted to offset it or add in more animation, I could. But why is that occurring? Is it because it's... I got it. We're using the spline parameter instead of its like UV position space. This whole thing runs on the UV space. So that explains pretty much everything. So this should match almost 1-to-1. And then maybe I just need to... Oh, for... Some faces are still not working as intended. Okay, so I need to do that like that. So here it is... Yeah. That is a problem. Something is just ever so slightly off. Oh. No, something is very wrong with this. That's at 0.5. We don't need to worry about that. We should just need to worry about this. Right? Okay, let's try... Yeah, 0 and 1. Oh, that actually looks really cool. Very interesting design right there. Okay. So maybe I should just delete all copies. Just focus on... Okay. Focus on 0. So that is... Okay. Problem. Okay, that is the problem there. Let's think about this. How do we make this work? So it should start off at 0 and then go to 1. So I need to go and invert the gradient and do... Yeah. Okay, so here we can see... No, let's go and turn off attribute text so that I can see what's going on. Ah, okay. We see our issue plainly now. We need to go and invert this, but how much? And then we do that. So we just need to offset that by that. The gradient 0, and then it goes to... Okay. I understand now. What we need to do is that inverts that gradient, so we need to go and take this, and then do this. Okay, so we have that. That should start off there, and then as it progresses, I will need to go and fraction this. This should be 2. Starts off at 0 and then interpolates completely to there. Oh, wait, no, that's another little issue right there. Okay, well, anyway, let's go and take that out. So we... Oh, for the love of everything that is holy. I mixed up which side the gradient should be on. Okay. So now we're kind of seeing what's going on there. And then the only other thing I should do is make it so that these beginning parts... Oh, this is really funky. Ah, no, yeah, this is funky. Okay. There's a lot more that I need to consider. So the gradient is moving, but the gradient amount is way too much. Okay, and then the only thing after that needs to be done is this. That the island ID can work. So now let's go and re-enable all the other duplicate islands, and then hopefully... Okay, we need to go in fraction. Okay, so it's like the other part. We fraction and then we floor. No, that is not going as intended. Dang it. That's... Do we just need to multiply the time by 2 in order to make this work? Okay, we gotta rerun this. Okay. It's greater than... that and that. No, the time needs to be offset by the island ID. Sorry everyone, this part will take the longest amount of time. We have our time. This should be, it's kind of, yeah, inverting the gradients. That is not what we want. We want this to be greater than. Okay. Almost working. Then we go and add the Y to it. There we go. With that. Nope, wrong axis once more. And now it's one off again. Subtract. Oh, there we go. Yay. It's now working. That's the one thing that always trips me up. Just the little offset by 1 issues. And now I can go and use a map range to make this the way I desire. So instead of it just being a very harsh cutoff there, I can make it whatever I want. Is this a scene from the Fifth Element? No, this is a fully original scene. Loosely inspired by Marathon and the Westworld intro. But I have not partaken much in any of those IPs. So this is the part that I need to worry about. So I think I need to do something else. I need to add in the interpolation section. So it'll print one, and instead of immediately snapping to the next, it'll go and interpolate to the next. Which I planned on. So I just need to figure out how to do it correctly. Which will be another, let's go and save this. So again, right here we can see it's printing, having a whale of a time. I could go and make the order of these however I desire. I could sort these. But yeah, the main thing is that I need to... Yeah. Need to add in one phantom tile for it to interpolate. Let's see. I should probably also fix where this guy is coming from once more. Really hone it in. Almost where it should be. There we go. Alright, so now it's time for Project Phantom Tile. So yeah, we need to make this alternate. So this is going to be a huge pain to work on. Because we've got something that works, but I need to make it work better. So the main thing is here, for the island ID, we need to multiply this island ID by 2. This is going to be a pain. This is going to be a pain. Because I need to alternate from actually moving and considering what's happening there and then interpolating to the next location and rotation. Let me think about this real quick. I could make the interpolation parts a physical space so that I don't need to do any extremely weird stuff here. No, that wouldn't work either. This is gonna suck. Because it'll be a duplicate of this and this. Yeah, no, it's gonna suck. Because I just need to copy these two. Oh, that is disgusting. Oh, it's so disorganized. I hate it. Unorganized, disorganized, I don't care. The only thing I care about is just how absolutely atrocious there we go. That's what I meant to do. So now I just need to mix between one island and the next island. That hurts my soul. But the time is what we need to worry about. I should store the time. as an attribute so that when this part is actually called, the interpolation will be complete. I should go and normalize the normal mixture beforehand. So here we got, this will be time. Yep, that'll just be our relative time for this. Just so that when I change one parameter, I don't need to worry about anything else. Yeah, no, this is gonna be something. So if I just go and fraction this from there to there, it'll interpolate that integer math, and then we need to offset this one by -1, so that we can always interpolate to the next. Or I could just have 2 point sampling. So, oh yeah, no, I could just have 2 points sampling this. Yeah, no, I could just do that. Yep, nope, yep. Alright, nope, let's do this the right way, instead of the really messed up way we have it here. So, instead of doing this, I'm just going to have 2 points. One with the using the index to offset the island ID. So we'll have 2 points moving from place to place. Would that actually work as intended? Would that to be instance? I don't know. Or, and I would have to duplicate the instances as well. That's not ideal, and I want it to be perfect. Need to have 2 instances. And to be honest, the instance does not need to have a point inside of it. But I'm just going to do that so that I can actually see it. So I need to duplicate elements. This needs to be instance, so I just need 2 instances. And then that index needs to offset the time by a unit. So add just needs to be the index. Or subtract, because time moves forward and this needs to be behind in time or ahead in time, I forget which. So we should have 2 points. Nope, that needs to be ahead. So, yeah, I need... Okay, yeah, no, that's better, probably more efficient as well. So I just need to make it so that the main point... have 2 guide points, and then when we actually interpolate... This is going to be another level. Oh, I'm not the happiest about this occurrence. So we have 2 guide points, and then the final point that actually does everything. Dude, I am not enjoying this. So we have... This is... We have 2 points moving around, and then we need to make it so that the original point that moves around is... No, we don't need that duplicate point. Dang. It's just, interpolation is my enemy. There is a way to do this, my brain is just... the gears of my brain are grinding. So, what I need to do is add in a space for the island ID. So this floor needs to be multiplied by 2. Or the time needs to be divided by 2 before it goes into the floor. And then... I don't know. How's this supposed to function? And then this needs to not be a fraction, but no... It would make it loop over twice if I do that. So these instructions, if I divide by 2, that will make that part work as intended. And then we need to... basically... need to multiply this one by 2. Then fraction... No, we need to multiply this one by 2 after the fraction. And then we can also clamp that, but we don't necessarily need to. This is really something. This is really something. But it is working. At least that part. Now, the printing is not correct, but we can see, at least at this point, it is going through a tile, waiting for one tile segment, and then moving on to the next. So you have one tile that's moving, and then one interpolation to the next tile. So that's what we need, and I should store all of these as attributes, so that, you know, we just have that, and then the interpolation can actually work as intended. So yeah, let's store another named attribute on the instance. So this is time fraction. Yeah, time fraction. So yeah, and we want this not to be clamped. So we have that, and that. And the thing is, maybe I just sample. Since I have all this stored on our initial guides, this will be the time point. Yeah, the time point. We have all the data stored on there, so I could just sample it and then move it onto there so that it will be guaranteed to be in sync. Let's see. Dude, why can't you combine lists? Because they have not made that yet. It is already being worked on for 5.3. Right now, Blender 5.3 is in beta, so no new features can be added, only bug fixes and such. So don't be too distraught by the lack of that one. So here I need to just either evaluate at index, because that can work because it's on the same geometry. It's basically sample index, but on the same geo. So this needs to be on the instance domain. So I just need to interpolate between one and the other. And which means I'll need to interpolate the matrix. Fun. Interpolate the matrix, separate, transform. Need to combine, transform. So I'm going to make a, yeah, make a node group for that, or I can just mix between the two. So we get instance transform, we get that, and then the index just needs to be 1. We just need to separate these and then mix between the position and rotations. So here, if we do this, let's just go and test this to see if it actually works. So we need the time fraction, but I need to go and map range. Because we multiplied it by 2, we can set this to be 1 and 2. And let's just set it to be smoother step. Or I could use my ease functions. Yes, that's how it should be. Set it to be exponential. And then since that's in the middle, that should work as intended. We go and do that, and that, and do this. So here we should see, nope, did not work as intended. Oh, right, because I need to subtract 1. Whole point, the whole point. It's not functioning. It's almost working, but why is it not? Okay, so that divide by 2, maybe it should be like this. Or no, it should not be like that. No, it should be. Should be, yep. It's not functioning. Does this need to be inverted? Or is it that I do need to interpolate the rotation as well, so let's go and implement that. So this one will be a rotation, because we can interpolate rotations. Let's go and put that into there. And I may need to go and swap the inputs. Let's go and I want to just view you. No, something is incorrect. Something is massively incorrect. Maybe it's because the time on the secondary point does actually move. Or maybe it's because the index should be a subtract? Yeah, no, that's still very incorrect. Okay, let's go and take a look at you. Let's hide you, hide you. I just want to go and take a look at you. Is it because the secondary point needs to switch the behavior between the first point and the second point? Interpolation is a nightmare. I tried before and it was a mess. Yes, yes. If I just separated these points, it would be easier, but I want to have everything in sync, where I just change one parameter and it does everything. So with this one, it is there. Yeah, we see that, no, this part is working fine. Yeah. So these points are just moving and they, oh wait. Yeah, no, that should be fine. Then yeah, this should, let's go and make this a linear interpolation and then take a look at this one. And also let's go and delete odd. And this should only work on the first. So index equals 0. That one should only move according to that one. So we can see where it's trying to move. No, that, Nope, this is the make or break moment. Hey Caramel, how are you doing this fine Saturday? Quite well, if I can figure out this one little interpolation issue. Because it should just, yeah. It goes over there, and then it goes over there, and then it does that. This is just offsetting the time. Oh, wait, maybe I'm doing this part wrong. This needs to be over here, right? Nope, that's not right. Okay. What is going on? Scale, we don't need to worry about the scale, so that's fine. Okay, let's turn off the viewer and actually see what's going on over here. Don't want to worry about that part, or that part to be honest. So let's go and disable those so that we get faster playback. So here we have that. It's interpolating the opposite way. Sorry everyone, I will figure this out. I have to. It's almost working. So close. It's like tripping right at the finish line. Like that, and then that one does interpolate correctly. But it's interpolating, oh! It's interpolating to the end point, not the start point. That makes sense. That makes sense, yep. Oh, wait a minute, wait. I understand. Wait. We don't need you. We don't need you. Oh, wait. Sorry, everyone. My brain, it feels like my brain actually started functioning again. Yeah, no. We don't need you. We don't need you. No, we don't need that whatsoever. These points don't need to move until the interpolator happens. So let me explain. So all I need is the index. We just have a point at the start and end. No, nope, never mind. I was wrong about that because it needs to evaluate the UV surface as it slides across, so you know. Okay. The problem is we need the first point to actually move across the surface, but we need the second point to not. So it looks like I need to switch functionality based on the index of the second point. For this time fraction, we want this to be 0 if it is the second index. So we want this one to never move. It works. How about that? Okay, so it works now. That was the problem. It was acting weird because it was interpolating to... Oh, that is a nightmare in terms of organization. So I'm just going to copy this, move this over to here so that we can have these two completely disconnected. Oh, that is so ugly. So ugly, I hate it. Alright. I'll be kicking myself for how disorganized, unorganized, I forget how it is. But there's that, and that. Okay, so that should, it's now working. And now I can re-implement the easing function and call it a day. So here we can see. Yep. There we go. That's beautiful. So, and now we could also make this like bounce. So it'll just bounce over to the other one, bounce over to the next one, bounce over to the next one, and so on. There we go. So maybe if I did it like that, it would be like, or no, that needs to be biased towards the other way. Exactly as intended. Yes, I want my robots doing that. And no, that bias would have to be on that side. No, let's try not back. Maybe lean it more towards that side. Oh, and that also, yeah, no, these are not, I need to unclamp these. Yeah, there we go. So that with this, it's like, yeah, more like that. Alright, but usually we'll want to keep this elastic. Or no, not elastic, exponential. There we go. And I can do whatever I want to make this work. That's the beauty of it. Alright, this is complicated enough, but it's what's needed for what's basically, you know, an assembly robot. Go to different points, do a thing, interpolate to the next, and so on. Not bad for, we are pretty much at an hour, so this is good. Point to, tile to next interpolation. Here we go, and this is, time points. So now that I have this, I can now sample the time, because right now I need to node group this, because this is getting bad in terms of size. Always add in node groups to keep stuff like this from happening. but I'm not in the organization stage yet, but I should incorporate it more into just the general workflow. So for the progression of these splines, it's the time I need to worry about. So we have the island ID. I just need the time to sync between these two. Because right now we have the position in space. If I sample this thing's position, no, I need to sample the island ID that's on. Or I could just try syncing it normally. So, do I just divide then floor it? 5x2 floor, and then that should occur? No, of course not, of course not. Maybe it's an off by 1 or 2 in this scenario issue. 1 or 2, 1 or 2, 1 or 2. Tract 1. Okay, let's see. It's doing 2 at once, so maybe this needs to be a multiply. You know, something is amiss. I think it's a miss. Wow, I'm bringing out the fancy English. So we have this, we have that space. I think the problem is I just needed to envision the tiles as if they were laid one after the other in space. That would help out a ton. So just thinking of it as... yeah, no, that would help out so much. Just visualizing each tile as here, here, here. And then the point's just moving across in time. So this is a real tile, this is an interpolation tile, that's a real tile, that's an interpolation tile. That's how I should visualize it, and I can, if I do it right. So if I have this, just have the time fraction. And then yeah. I just have the point moving through time. And that's derived by the other one. Point moving through time. Real tile, interpolation tile, real tile, interpolation tile. Are we working on a marathon-like printing effect? If I remember correctly, marathon is like the organic, more organic growth, while Westworld is more of the printing. Or maybe I'm wrong about that. It's been a while since I've looked at either. I keep going, like with projects like this, I just get inspired by a random thing. Or in this case, I just get motivation to work on a random thing, and I forget to actually look at the reference. I guess because it's more original that way? I don't know. But I find that fun. So we have our time gradient right here, and then this is just decoding the time gradient. So, the island ID is just floored. Yeah, no, okay. So the time gradient is fine, I just need to find the correct way of decoding the time gradient. Which, if I just go and sample the index of the time, this will ensure that the time is always in sync. Or, I don't know, it's weird. It's like, ow. Something on... There's a bug in the room. Why is there a bug in the room? Ah, window's open. Okay. So I just need to sample, just so that it'll always be in sync. I just sample both of these attributes from the instance, right? It's an instance, not a point. So we have that, and then this is an integer. So we have both of these. I know this is an atrocious web, but it's what we have to deal with. So we have the time fraction in the island ID. So we don't need you or you. As we just subtract. Okay, now let's think about this. This here, that, and that. Then I basically just need to subtract based on the combined values of both of these. Maybe this will function as intended. Subtract based on that? Or subtract based on that? I don't know. It's ahead just a little bit. Then it keeps resetting. Okay. I mean, it's almost functioning. Maybe that needs to be an addition. We can see at the very least, this part of the time is in sync. Just needs to be the opposite way. So I do that and that. Yeah, kind of. But I guess that suggests that this part was the other way. And now this part is the other way. I confuse myself. And then that suggests an off by 1 issue, which maybe would be affected by... Huh? Wait a minute, that should not be occurring. It's because... Wait, no? No, that shouldn't... Wait, what? Huh? Just the time fraction. But it's not taking a break. Based on the island index. Do I just do like a greater than? This island index is greater than that, then switch that to be 0 or something? Trying. Maybe this one has another off by 1 error. Subtract by 1. So incredibly close to working, but not quite. Why? Just gives 1, so maybe I just subtract that from that? Subtract that from that, then that should equal, like, 0, so that should work. Like that? Okay. Now the problem is that it's just a little... Since it's fractioning twice. So, wait, is the time fraction actually fractioned in this? No, it's multiplied by 2. So I just need to clamp output value. Nope, never mind. What value is actually... Okay, so whenever it goes above 1, we need it to not do anything. Because it keeps repeating. Okay, we're almost there, So it prints, and then it prints during the interpolation stage. Should not occur. Should not occur. Oh, this is getting messy. Oh no, oh god, oh no. Let's put this there and there. I will have to call it soon because I gotta go do stuff. As per usual, we are, yeah, over an hour. It's a shame so much of this went into interpolation and nothing else. These should not be in there because we're just calling that, so we need to put that. There's not enough space. I need to put node groups everywhere. So learn from what I say, not what I do. Put node groups around everywhere in this situation. So that, and that, and that. So again, when this guy gets above 1, I need it to do nothing. But to be honest, I do not understand. Does the progression gradient go above 1? No. Yeah, no, I can't say I fully understand. Oh, do we need to divide you by 2? No. Yeah, no, why is it doing that? Why in the interpolation stage is it already doing the printing? Yeah, why does that happen? You can see that part is working as intended. Okay. Maybe I need to try that greater than thing again. Greater than... Oh, okay. That's like that, it does that. Oh, wait, oh, that's great right there. Oh, look at that. 0, okay. So if I just do this, then we have, yeah, this just shows which part is on or off, and then that part interpret. Okay. Now that is functioning as intended. Yep, that's good. And then whatever part... And I could also try and equal. Yep, okay, good. Oh, yeah, no, that is amazing. I'll just do an integer mat subtract, just so that we don't need to worry about float interpolation issues, but that's not a problem. So here, if it's equal to... Okay, this will just show the active tile that's actively doing stuff. So, with that, that's great. And we just have that. So we just have that selection, and then with that selection, we just go and multiply the interpolation. That's grand. That's great. So yeah, baby up. Like good. So that part's right there. And yeah, okay, there we go. So here is brilliant. Okay, and we just need to switch between 2 things. Like that, then we do this one. So that gradient occurs. And then if it's not that, we just switch to this one. So if it's already complete, no. Maybe it needs to be like a greater than or something like that. Maybe a greater than. Maybe I should switch this to not equal so that it can do that. Yeah. And then offset that by like -1? No. Less than. Okay, there we go. It works perfectly now. And maybe I should... There's a better way of doing this, I know, because we may need the better gradient that shows the time better. But this isn't the worst. I don't exactly know why. Oh, wait, no. The reason that little jump happens... Yeah, no, I just need to make it so that this is in by just a little bit. So with this, we need to go and mix, not a map range, a mix. So that this is like 0.001 and 0.999. So that the interpolation is a bit better. Here, there shouldn't be like a grand jump, I don't think. Oh, there still is. Here it should be... Yeah, okay. So it just needs to be very small. Okay. So let's try to make that as small as possible. I don't like it when it jumps like that. Oh, wait. 0? Oh, wait, that's weird. 0.025 and then 0.975? Maybe it's just the way that this was laid out. That might be the case. Also need to add an interpolation for the printing segments. I think that's good. We have it set up. It's still not as clean as I would like, but it is functional. And that's all we need. And there we go. It works, and now we have a very nice gradient for anything else we would need. So, yeah, there we go. And now I just need to sort these, islands based on... Yeah, the parts. It is functioning as intended, so that's good. I just need to go and separate these islands, which should never have been here in the first place. Let's go and get you, remerge you with the bottom because I screwed that part up. Control J. Merge vertices by distance. Please tell me I didn't triangulate. Good, I did not. There we go. So with all that work, I finally figured it out. There we go. Always wanted to make a project like this. And now, since I have this, I can customize it just a little bit. So we have said instance transform right here, but, you know, we could always go and move it a little bit based on the time. I really need to put this into node groups. I really do. So this could be a node group just because we get the data in and all that happens. And then, well, this could be part of the node group as well. Honestly, that could be there, but yeah, no, that's a splitting off point. And all of this could be a node group as well, because that's everything else. Yeah, this is a bit much. It's a bit much. And sync. Yeah, that's what that does. Gradient sync. Sync. Still not entirely happy with how that part turned out. But it is functional, and that's all that matters, I think. Go and flip these two around. Node organization. So fun. Hope one day we get that portal node. Or the node link portal. So yeah, it is functional, but we need to make it better. Because what good is this? let's go and we don't do more with it. So let's just put all view into here, just to really show the difference between all different segments and their functionalities. Because here we have, I am disliking a bit of this. Here we have that. So we have these points, and then the point interpolator is afterwards. Yep. Tile interpolator. There we go. So now with time fraction, I can now go and do other things to the transform. So let's go and add, and then we're going to scale the normal based on the time. So let's do map range. So we're going to do this, and maybe even ping pong if I'm feeling fancy. So this one could be this. So yeah, no, this could work. So 0.1. There we go. Oh, yep, it's working. It's working. Nice. There is something I'm a tad worried about, though. Let's set this to be like 0.2, set this to be smoother step. It is a ping pong, so it should be going up, down, up, down, up, down. I think it may be. I think I just need to lower this guy to make it as close as possible to said points. Local, let's go and move you down so that you're basically one-to-one with that. Actually, no, let's go and move it up so that I can actually see what's going on. But just close enough so that, yeah, it's like that. And then we can go and set the radii of these points to be much smaller, because we do not need to be seeing all that. There we go. Let's put this over to here. Geometry to instance 0.001. The radius should be 0, and to be honest, there shouldn't even be a point inside these instances. They could just be completely empty, but that's fine. Yep, it is in sync. Lovely. You love to see it. Then we could go and turn up the resample counts. That we get a little bit more resolution going on. Like that. Here, yeah, no. The only other thing I can think of is like maybe a tangent space placement of point parts. Like the points knowing where the start and end. Oh yeah, maybe that's even better. Making these curves that actually sample the beginning and end points, and then I can make even more complicated effects based on that. But we got all that. Looks really neat. Will it be on Gumroad once you cleaned it up a bit? To be honest, probably not. This is very much an experimental effect. And also, wait, this could be a texture, right? That's why I planned this. I planned this to be a texture, not these physical curves. Yeah, okay. I need to... You know, I wanted this to be a texture so that I could do everything else. So that I could print basically anything I want in this area. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no, that's just in shadow. Let's go and just watch this as it occurs. Still not that... Why is it laggy? Why is it lagging? Or, sorry, I need to sneeze. Accidentally muted the audio, the music instead of me. Ooh, I caught it in time. So with this setup, we don't even need to we don't even need to generate these curves. We straight up don't need to. So I guess in the cleaning up phase. Yeah, no, these curves can be completely separate. The only data that this curve needed, that the curve generation needed, was how many tiles there are. So that could be an entirely separate geometry stream. Then this is also a separate part. This is meshing the curve. Okay. So to node group this, and this does need, yeah, no, that does need to be separate as well. So I guess it's which parts actually need to be separated. So yeah, I can move pretty much all of this into a node group, which it should have been originally. So the question is, how much of this do I put inside of it? Yeah, well, yeah, do I put that inside the node group, or do I keep that external? Let's make it internal, and then we can make it external if need be. Yeah, the time points need to be their own thing, and then maybe you need to be your own thing. Okay. Or that's an island ID. Maybe I should make this group ID so that's standardized with the thing there. Yeah, let's go and do that now. Group ID. So I'm going to switch that around. You know, last minute renaming. Because what could go wrong there? Group ID, all that is as expected. Okay, so node group time. Best time. Node make a group. Why do you not want to make a group? Node make group. Hello. Node make group. Am I doing something incorrectly? Node make group. Oh wait, something went wrong. Node make group. No, it just didn't go through. Is making a group broken now? Make a new unit. No, that. Wait, what? Wait, what? Why did? Huh? Wait, what? Why did that work? In the. Oh, okay. All right. Not going to worry about that. And then we have the normal, and yeah, I'm not gonna worry about that one. So this is just, location points. Location point. I could delete the secondary point for the interpolator when it heads out. So this one is time fraction. Then this one is, what is that? Group ID. Yep. There we go. And the generic time, we don't need that because that's all encoded and all that good stuff. So there we go. We now have this in there, which simplifies a lot. The group inputs needs the normal and the position. And if I'm being greedy, I'll want to get the tangent. Position. I will need to get going, but organization is key, and I am organizing the hell out of this. Not really, but we're getting somewhere. So yeah, on the output there, I'm gonna keep both points, but I should delete the secondary point when it actually gets sent out. Now that we have that, we can just put this over here. That's all nice and good. And I should, or maybe, wait. Oh yeah, I could just output the instance transform like this, and that would help as well. So we're going to move that up top, or maybe that can be on the bottom. Transform. Yeah, that's fine. Not great, but not terrible. So we can just do that. That's fine. And then we can keep the geometry. Oh crap, we do need that geometry, I forgot. We keep the geometry there because the other thing needs to sample that. I almost forgot. And we'll put that on the bottom because, you know, in terms of importance. Yeah, we need that 1 point in there so that the other things can see it. Specialized, but it's fine. We don't need that node group. And then this can be another group. So yeah, it's okay. I guess I could just replace parts of this and make it work. Then set curve normal, that I am going to do after the set position. Don't know really why I had it before, because that is unnecessary. Especially if I swap it out for like a grid. So let's go and try that. Let's make a grid, which I'll need several copies of said grid. So duplicate elements, which I'm forgetting that I need to translate it to an instance to make the grids, and that's annoying, but okay, we don't need that either. So this will be 2 instance. Or wait, no, I don't need this because I already have all the data on the actual geometry. Actual geometry has everything I need. It already has the position, so all I need to do is do this and then that, and then skip over everything else. So I already have everything I need. Besides another set material. So this, maybe I'll just make this an alternate route. No, it's fine. Okay. Do this, and we set this as frame of 1. That out. So there we go. Okay. So this is another thing that I'm not sure I showcased. And we need to offset the position of grid. So yeah, no, I need you. I need that one. That one. See? I am greatly confusing myself because... Yeah, why am I greatly confusing myself? It's because I didn't store the island index on... okay. So I need to store, if I lay this... Okay, I know I'm decimating what I worked so hard on, but it's fine. Okay, it's almost working. Just the UV position. Well, we have UV2, which is the same thing. So now, there we go. So now I can make it print, yeah, that. The camera, so fun. So this does not need to print the curves. It can print basically anything. It's just the geometry there is a bit easier to deal with. Roll reprojection is off. I should make this a bit easier to see. But yeah, any design I want, I can print. So I could make this print its own shell if it has the same material. So if I disable the material, it is now printing a frame upon frame, which it's a bit hard to see that actually occurring. So let's go and show this part. So here it is just printing itself, where it's getting its own data from. Oh wait, holy crap, I've tried to make an effect like this for previously. I've completely, oh. Huh. Okay. There may be a part 2 of this in the future. Dang it. Okay, let's control Z so that we get back to the... okay, I'll need to restore this because that's like that. We don't need you. We need you. There we go. The point goes through there. That goes through there. Yep. I think this should be back in action, and it is. Okay, so now that we got all this, let's actually play around with it. Because we can speed up the time. Let's go and speed it up by 3 times. There we go. So it is still taking a long time to print. Who knew that printing could take so long? And I could add in different animations, like making it go like from side to side and all that. But it is functioning, so that's good. Yeah. Though, could I make it so that... Can I actually make it so that the interpolation takes less time? I know I can, if I do it right. Are you generating the muscle paths as well? Those are... the paths here, the curves, these are being generated as well. But the base plan for this is modeled. What this runs on, everything runs on just UVs, like this. Just squared off UV maps. Wow, that looks so real. All these UVs are just squared off, like this, and that's all that's needed. And then everything else just runs. We just have this. What happens if I were to put that over there? Oh, nothing. Okay. That literally changes nothing. Okay. And then I normalize these UV maps so they're just 0 to 1, so that whenever I place something there, it works well. Though, the one thing that could make it better is me treating these more like UDIMs rather than completely overlapping UV maps. Let's see. Geometry node users make me think of that Tony Stark hologram gif. Ah, yes. I have no clue what's going on, but it's sick. This project, with every project I try, at least on live stream... Oh, it's almost 2 hours. Dang, I need to go. It's all about getting data, changing it up a bit, and then setting it again. The one part that is quirky is when you transfer data from one geometry to another, like this part. And then, yeah, data manipulation. It's all just getting attributes, changing them up a bit, and then setting them. It's just when you transfer it, when things get a bit weird. And then, yeah, I need to make a nice looking robot arm for that. And then also potentially making a curve for the start and end of each part. Or no, wait, I would need the middle segments as well. I just need, instead of it being like this, I need to make it so that there's a curve at the start and then a curve at the middle and a curve at the end. So that I can make whatever effect I want adapt to the surface so that it's, instead of it extruding from one point, which looks good in and of itself, like this is a complete feature, maybe I'll want a completely adapting rig that goes over the surface and prints each individual fiber. Who knows? Look at that. Look at that. It is lifting up and doing everything it should. Let's go back into here, because I want to go and multiply this by 2. I don't know why it's lagging. Why are you lagging? I mean, it is reevaluating the subdivision surface every single time, so if I disable that, it's a lot faster. But as we can see, it works completely the same. So the procedural generation of the muscle paths isn't even necessary. These could just be pre-existing. The only thing that's needed is their UV maps to be synced up. So yeah, it would actually be better if I just made these in separate UV tiles. Oh, look at that. Are you planning on keeping the stream? Yes, this stream is good enough. Alright. That is good. Alright, so that is today's effect. I hope you all enjoyed. I'm just gonna change a few little things to make it a bit faster, because I want to see that. But yeah, this can work on a lot of things, a lot of examples. Let me go into the world, because this is actually hard to see. Let's go, yeah, let's just go and brighten that up a lot, just so that we can see everything that's going on. And I could also make the camera follow every part of this. Oh wait, I need to try one more thing. Wait. I need a new camera. Sorry I keep absolutely delaying everything. Even me leaving, which I really need to leave, but I'm having so much fun working on this. It's nice working on something and, you know, actually making it. Because you get to figure out tons of little problems, rather than saying, hey, bleep blorp, make it for me. I'll take every opportunity for a little bit of slander on that part. There we go, okay. Okay. Wasn't quite as... Maybe I just need to make it so that it doesn't follow... It follows the position. And make it so that we actually have a view of the print. 0.01, just for the clipping distance. There we go. And then I might need to add in some, like, avoidance thing so that it doesn't clip into the mesh. Let's also turn this back up to 2. Yeah, let's go and move this out a little bit, because, you know, it's a little bit too close. I need to move this up a bit, move the camera down. Always turn this to black so that I can only see what the people will see. And maybe I just need to turn down the rotation amount, because the rotation, it's a bit much. Yeah, I don't like the jumping, but I can change it because of how I set this up. So here I'm going to change this so that it'll mix between the normal vector for the primary axis and Z, and this will be based on U as well. So with just a little bit of editing. Good, in theory. No, I have that the wrong way around, don't I? There we go. And that should be one, okay. Yeah, no, there we go. It's very zoomed in. Or, zoomed out. That is working well. Just need better lighting for this. And then we need to show our robot arm again. That the robot arm is blocking our view, so let me just go and do something like this. And the interpolation is working well. Dang, I'm so glad this worked. Though I could... Let's add in just a proxy. I need to do this off stream. I need to stop delaying my departure. Alright, here we are. And then I just need to, no, I need the constraint, the child of constraint armature, and it has to be Bono 3. Just need to clear inverse, set that back to 0, 0. 0.01. Ah, wrong parent. This needs to be the IK. And you may be wondering, wait, why did you make it so that, you know, this is very disorienting. I apologize. And here I need to make this very small. 0, 1. So we just hide all that. We have that. Let's go and do that. Set it to be metallic, shade flat, roughness down, so that we can see everything. And yeah, I just need to make that look a bit better, a bit more clinical. Also, I think I need to scale that back up. Just a little bit of designing right here. And then with this part, we need to change you to be wire. And then also we can show the axes as well. Actually, no, that's fine. There we go. It's a bit too zoomed out, so let's go and zoom the camera back in. There we go. And here I'm also going to make it so that this only interpolates half to the base rotation. Let's see. Hey Cartesian Caramel, love your videos. You gave me a push to make some cool wavy English walls and geometry nodes, and I blogged about it. Oh, that's very cool. I'm glad I can be an inspiration. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, that's working well. I could make it even better. Could make it even better. I think, okay, here's one thing I can do to make it better. Finishing touches will take up most of the time. I'm going to go and set position. This is simply to make it look a tad more visually interesting. Did I get rid of the random per spline attribute? No, it's still there. Just offset because I think offsetting... Oh wait, is that still broken? No, that's not broken. Never mind. Let's see, normal, I need the geometry normal, scale, offset, based on the spline parameter factor, but I need to make this a float curve. Probably not the best idea because the node is so big, but that's fine. Also multiply that with a random value, but make sure that's evaluated on the spline domain. Evaluate on domain spline. So we get a random value per spline, randomize the seed by quite a bit. Do that, and then let's lower it quite a bit. Not enough. Okay, and I'm also going to make this a ping pong. because the other one was a bit much. Just to see if I can make it look a little bit more interesting. A little more 3D. Looks a tad more 3D. Yeah, I guess I just need to... Yeah, make those points at the start and end so that I can make the complete wave thing happen. So yeah, let's move the camera once more, just to center it a bit more. Testing. Let's turn up the roughness here, because I'm not enjoying that part all too much. And I just need to put in a good-looking floor so that it, looks real, rather than just floating in the abyss. Oh. And I'll just need to make that, like, rougher or something like that. Actually, I could borrow the same shade, or, nope, wait, did I... Okay, no, I didn't intend to save it, but I did it anyway. Some sort of weird muscle memory thing happened there. Like, I must save, and my body just did it automatically. My autopilot is surprisingly good. One. Hide that, do that, make this. Geometry, position. There we go. So with that, with everything there, set that to be the normal. No, the other thing. 500. That feels a little bit better, but still not great. There and there. It's decent. Not amazing, but decent. 5. We could turn up the roughness there. Just want to get a little bit of stuff happening. It should be a different color than the floor. How do I make it look good? Still being separate. Maybe it just needs like a design. Because that is, yeah, that's way too similar. That's not the worst. Yeah, I just need to speed up the timing. Which, I know how to do that. It won't be bad. There we go. And I just need to make the splines thicker. Okay. I'm delaying my departure, I know. I know. I just need to go over here, set this to be 2.5. Yeah, that's pretty good. Not bad. Just need to do the resorting and then that'll be perfect. And then also I could go and make those a little more tube-like, but it's causing it to lag. Do I have motion blur on? I probably do. I do not. No, of course not. Oh wait, the motion blur makes it feel a little bit too real. Ow. Okay. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this project. Actually, it turned out well. It does need some adjustments, but it worked out well. Then, looks like I need to fix the gradient part of the curve. Maybe I should store that beforehand. That's good. Could be a Westworld opening title. I had that in my memory. It's been a while since I've watched it. The opening. But I've always wanted to make something like it, and I think this is close enough. It needs a bit more work, but it's okay. It's okay. Alright, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Oh wait, I need to read the chat. The one thing I struggled with, and I wonder if you have any tips, is offsetting points in a random curve in a sinusoidal fashion. When the curve is straight, it's a simple set position with offset. Maybe with using the tangent and the normal or sample curve, but other than that, I would need to look into it more. But when the curve is not straight set, position with offset doesn't follow the curve. Yeah, sample curve. Sample curve, get the length of where the point is, and then offset that. I think that would be the best option. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.